Thanks, Shuts. So, to state what's probably the obvious is that Benny's not speaking first, but wishes today to announce his retirement effective from the end of season 2014. After 225 games and more than a decade at the highest level, he's decided to give some notice, and it's an opportunity for us today to reflect on what has been an absolutely fantastic career, not just for our club, but in terms of benchmarks across the AFL, and probably one of the best defenders of all time. He's an All-Australian in 2005, as you know. He's been a consistent performer for us. Brenton can probably speak to it more than me in terms of the durability, but there's little periods there throughout Ben's career where he was just playing all game time, and his durability and level of excellence was quite astounding. It was a hallmark of his career. So we celebrate it today. He told his teammates this morning. It's always a poignant day and sometimes a difficult day to be able to stand there and say that in front of your teammates. And we all felt for Ben this morning when he went through that. But typical of the fella, really clear-minded about what he wanted to do, had thought it through, wanted to give the club some clarity, wanted to give his teammates some clear notice, and there'll be plenty of opportunity later in the year for us to be able to celebrate the career a little more outwardly, but for now it's just a chance to reflect and on what's been a fantastic career. As I say, Ben didn't want to make a statement. He's got no notes other than these silly little scribbles that I can see here of thank yous. So if you guys in the media have got any questions, I reckon these are the guys to ask.
Ben, is it a tough decision?
Oh no, it wasn't a tough decision. I mean, it's something I've sort of been thinking about most of the year, and pretty clear that this was going to be my last year. So comfortable with the decision. Just felt like this was the right week in terms of announcing it. Give the club a bit of clarity going forward. Stops me thinking about it a bit. Gives the players a bit of clarity of what's going on, and sort of frees me up a bit to keep training and performing the way I want to, and try and be part of another finals campaign.
Do you think you'll be keen to sort of get away from footy altogether at the end of the year? Or?
No, look, I'm sort of pretty passionate about getting into coaching when I finish playing. I've spent sort of the last 3 to 5 years sort of doing some work behind the scenes in terms of preparing for life after footy, and Sando and Dasher have been great in terms of helping me develop and giving me a bit more freedom in terms of being able to develop my coaching skills, and that's something I'm really passionate about, and really really keen to get into finishing my career.
Was it to lose and obviously your family get a bit emotional?
Yeah, no, it's pretty tough. I mean, my family sort of, we've been talking about it with my wife and kids and parents and that sort of thing. So that was, but yeah, definitely telling the players today was pretty hard, and it doesn't matter how comfortable you are in terms of with the decision. It's still tough to get up in front of the players that you do all the training with, and go through the ups and downs with, and you want to be a player for life, but that's not the way it goes.
225 games, which Stephen alluded to, but I'm sure you want to add 6 or 7 more to that tally.
Yeah, look, really keen to keep playing out the career. I still feel like I've got some value and can contribute match day and also off the field. So I'm not going to be slowing down in that respect, and really going to be finishing off the year strong. And I think we're really can really push for the finals and do some damage once we get there.
You've obviously got a lot of great memories. You've got a bit to look forward to at the end of the year, but as you look back, I think 3 kicks from your first 3 goals from your first 3 kicks, is that probably the biggest highlight, or what is the biggest highlight?
Oh no, not my biggest highlight. I mean, that was that was good. Thanks for mentioning that though. But yeah, I suppose some big finals games we've played in. Pretty early on in my career, which it was. Which you look back on fondly. Probably we played Port in a final showdown out here, and that was probably, I think we won by about 83 points, I think, and that was probably one of the best games to play with. Big for the footy club, big for the fans, big for the players. So, but also something I'm pretty proud of is being part of a part of a leadership group which is selected by our peers. In beginning in 05, 06, being selected by our peers to lead the footy club and lead the other players is something that I'm pretty proud of, and that's something that I feel is pretty significant.
You kicked your goal that day, I think, as well. And Tread Ray got none.
Again, thanks for mentioning that. It was good, so
You're doing beautiful.
you remember them all.
Keep it coming, man.
What brought it on then? Is it the body that feels that can't handle another year, or?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I've sort of. The body does get a bit sick of all the training, and mentally it's pretty tough to keep going. And I just think it's the right time. I think I'm ready to transition into a coaching career, and mentally in that sort of space. I feel like we've got a really talented, great young group of players, but I'm probably a bit biased towards the defenders, and I think our young defenders at the moment are really good, enthusiastic, and they're going to be the nucleus for our team for the next 10 years. And I think that's something that I feel as if I've had an impact on their careers, and I'm definitely going to be following them, watching them a bit closely, and watching their progression throughout their career. And we got a taste of that on the weekend, I suppose, in a game against a top team in a showdown. And other than finals, the heat doesn't get much bigger than that in a game. So I was really proud to see the whole team, but also just the defenders being able to handle that sort of pressure and get the result we needed.
What do you hope you've taught them?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, it's. I suppose I hope I teach them about being consistent, being reliable, to be counted upon, to be counted on by your teammates. I suppose they're the sort of the values that I've played with throughout my career, and hopefully I'm remembered for those sort of things, and just having the ability to perform when the team needs you, being at your best in the big games, I suppose.
What about forwards? Who are some of the best forwards you play on?
Yeah, look, it's a question I get a lot, and it's hard to single any one or two out, really. I mean, I've came through playing against some fantastic players, and I'll never forget my first game at fullback. It was my third or fourth game at the club. It was Craigie's first game when he took over, and I walked in the door and he said, how do you feel about playing on David Neitz? And I was like, oh. I was taken aback a bit. I wasn't expecting it at all, and and he had 2 goals by quarter time, and I was thinking, waiting for the runner to come out and slip me over the bench. But he stuck with me, and probably played every game since, starting at fullback. And that's so David Neitz is obviously a great player. There's Buddy Franklin, Barry Hall, Treadray, Jonathan Brown. Been fortunate or unfortunate enough to play on all these great players, but I think that's something I love doing. I prided myself on playing against the best player, the best key forwards in the team, in the competition. Really relish that opportunity. It's the one position on the ground, I suppose, other than the ruckman, that you've just full back and full forward. You've got total accountability and responsibility for your role and for your position, and feel like I was held my own against them.
Brenton, where do you place Ben in terms of amongst the players that you've seen play for this club over the years?
I think he'll clearly go down as one of the best 3 fullbacks in the last decade, along with probably Matty Scarlett and Darren Glass. I think most opposition forwards would have Truck in their top 3 most feared fullbacks to play on. I think, without question, he's been such a consistent player for our footy club, but certainly a really reliable key defender for the last 10 years he's played.
He's definitely part of your plans for the next 8 games.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Truck and I have had a very open sort of conversation all year about where he sits in the team and what his role is, and we were sort of planning at the start of pre-season that we might get sort of 12 to 15 games out of him, just with, you know, being 31 years of age, and particularly because the game's changing too. I mean, the modern forward now, when you look at guys like Cameron and Danaher, when we played against the Suns, they had Dixon, Lynch, Thompson, who are all 200 centimetres. These guys are really athletic. They jump. They're really good at ground level as well. Whereas, I guess when Truck first started playing at full back, it was just come out with a full forward and get a fist in, and that was pretty much your role. But the game's quickly changing. He did more than that. But I mean, we sort of joke now with Truck that if he was drafted now, it would be as a midfielder. I mean, he's 190 centimetres. The game's changing now. These guys, these modern day key forwards, are 200 centimetres, and they're up and down the ground. And so, yeah, I mean, we have to change with the game as well. And you know, Truck's still playing some really important footy for us. 8 rounds to go. He's going to be playing plenty of footy for us for the rest of this year.
There's a lot of good nicknames in footy, and a lot of coming out of this club as well. Sticky. Do you like your nickname? Is it one, was one that you stuck, or?
Yeah, look, you don't have much choice with nicknames, but yeah, no, I like the nickname, and it's.
Where'd it come from?
Back when I started playing at West Adelaide, I think it's. I suppose I was the size I am now when I started playing there at sort of 16. I think now it's probably turned into, you know, it's probably the size of my turning circle, I suppose. So it evolves a bit as a player.
Anyone you'd like to thank us for?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's plenty of people that have, you know, had huge impacts on my career, and I think I'll spend the next couple of months, you know, privately thanking a lot of those. But you know, I'd like to take this opportunity, I suppose, publicly to thank, you know, firstly the Adelaide Footy Club, you know, their support staff, you know, coaches that I've had throughout, you know, assistant coaches and senior coaches, you know, played huge roles in shaping me as a footballer, and as a player as well. I think it's, you know, I think I'm going to be leaving the footy club a much better person than when I came in, which is, you know, I like to the people here at the footy club and the coaches and players that I've had played with. The players, both current and past players who I've played with, you know, again, really significant. You don't have the sort of memories within a footy club without them. The Adelaide Footy Club supporters. Yeah, we've got some really loyal and you know, great supporters, and you know, they're fanatical, and you know, some of the crowds we've been getting this year so far has just been testament to that, and it was just great that, you know, on the weekend we can repay them with a good win over Port. It's always important. The West Adelaide Footy Club, you know, I played all my junior career through the development squads, through under 17s, 19s, and to play some league footy there, and you know, really important pathway for me. And I suppose just the family, you know, my parents, both mum and dad, you know, being fortunate enough to stay in Adelaide where I've grown up, they've seen a heap of my footy at the AFL level, which you know, which has been great. They've been, you know, huge support for me. Wife Kylie's parents, you know, they're a great support to me as well, and Kyle and the family as well. So, but yeah, to Kylie and the kids as well, you know, huge support for me, and you know, give you a real perspective when footy's going well or when footy's not going well. It's yeah, it's great to come home and have that love and support at home, and it's yeah, it's something that, you know, I'm sure I'll need with my next career, but it's also so important, you know, for every player. So, yeah, publicly, I just want to thank those sort of people.
When did you know then? When did you sort of realise, yeah, this is it? Was it early in the year?
Yeah, pretty early in the year, maybe even, you know, throughout pre-season. I was sort of going into it, preparing and treating every sort of session and moment like, you know, this is going to be the last year, and yeah, so pretty comfortable with the decision.
Do you still enjoy the modern game, Ben? I mean, it's touching how much it's changed. How do you find it?
Yeah, look, it's yeah, it's still really enjoyable to play. I mean, the challenges there each week. I mean, as a player, they're the things you look forward to. It's the yeah, it's funny, as you get a bit older, you do enjoy the training, you know, almost a bit more, and being able to compete more often than just on match day. And that's something that I feel is important for our younger group to realise, is that you just need to keep competing more and more. You can't just wait for your match days to have that competition. You need to find areas throughout the week and find time to challenge yourself. And there's no doubt the game now is still as challenging as ever. And the flexibility and versatility players have to have in the modern day, and some of the information that you have to have before you can even run out in the field is just huge. So it's still a great environment to grow up and be a player, and there's so many good people here. So, but still love playing the game of footy, and that's something I'm really keen to finish off the year strong.
Do you think there's still room for another truck? Someone like you moves on?
I don't know. I mean, it's everyone talks about the old-fashioned full forward going out of the game, and I suppose a byproduct of that is the full backs will go with them. So, I feel be a bit of a shame if you do lose the full forward, full back, in the team. But I think there's some pretty exciting players around at the moment.
Just coaching-wise, what sort of a coach do you reckon Ben made?
I mean, he's got the attributes to be a senior coach without question, and I think he'll walk into a development role or an assistant coaching role at another AFL club straight away. He's held in such high regard here from his teammates. The work he's done in mentoring and educating our young defenders, I guess, or since my time at least, I know that's happened before that as well, but the last 2.5 years, he's been instrumental in developing our young key defenders, and also, I guess, the full defensive group. So he's almost been like an assistant coach to me in the last 2.5 years anyway. So as he mentioned, him and Darren Milburn have worked pretty closely with that young group, and it's developing really nicely, and Truck's a huge part of that.
So you guys have done, thanks for coming, and to everyone else for being here. I was just sitting here thinking about Benny's career as he was talking, and it's worth remembering that he came into the club as a pre-season draft pick in 2002, about the same time as Marty Matner and Nathan Bock. And I think actually as a byline, we fielded something like 7 or 8 originally listed rookies on the weekend, something like that. So as a byline, the club has been very good, very successful at developing its rookie-listed players, particularly those like Ben, who, without embarrassing, were overlooked for the previous couple of national drafts. But it just feels like, and I've sat here a few times with retiring players, it feels a bit like, as Brenton said this morning to the playing group, that all of a sudden it feels like, where's it all gone? It's okay as a first and second year player, you feel like it's got forever to go, but you get to the point in time of retirement and you think, where's all that time gone? So from the point of view of where Ben came from as a rookie-listed player, to today in 2014, over a decade later, 220 plus games, maybe 230 plus, Tom, and to have such a reputation around the competition is a great credit to him and his family. So on behalf of everyone here, mate, well done. It's been a fabulous career and a bit more to go. Well done.
Want to stay connected to the Crows? Like us on Facebook.